as she moves to what I view as the best job in the world, that of retirement. So Denise is a triple Buckeye. She graduated from Ohio State 3 times. I don't know that everybody knows that. She graduated before that from the University of New Hampshire. And I won't give years, but she has 2 master's degrees plus her MD off from Ohio State. Denise also worked in multiple places, or did multiple things before her career in psychiatry. Was an instructor in the areas of anatomy and physiology and lecturer in zoology as well. She did that for over a decade before transitioning her career in that regard. So, I'm going to put a pin in that and come back because I neglected to say one thing before I got started. Today's event is not possible without the people who do the work behind the scenes to make this happen. So I want to thank those folks who put today's event together. Everything that you see, everything that you eat, everything that you drink today. And so that's Lorraine Copley, Angela Staffa, Danielle Henn, Mary Wargo, Angie Orr, and Evan Singh. So can we please thank them for putting this event together? So, going back to our guest of honor, she's been with the Office of Student Life and was briefly at Student Health Service, but then with CCS since the 1990s through today, when actually tomorrow her official retirement date. But before one thing I want to spend a few moments chatting about is her contributions beyond just providing treatment to the students who've been in her office. And there's a lot of those. I think one of her major, biggest, most important contributions for our center, for the university, and for beyond is her work in stigma reduction. When we talk about mental health stigma reduction today, people all over the place are talking about that, looking at that. Denise was leading that many years before everybody in the field was putting in emphasis on that. I think many of us have seen an email or the poster she would send that has the boot on it for stomping out stigma. If there was an emoji for Denise, I think that's what it would be. I think it was about a year ago, the implementation committee that I'm on for the putting together, putting in action a recommendation from the Suicide and Mental Health Task Force report. I had a subcommittee on stigma and on stigma reduction for the university. When they asked me for a representative, it was a no-brainer to have Denise join that group. So it's been work that she's done at the center and across the university, and the Stigma Reduction Committee at a farewell breakfast for her the other day gave her, up there as a plaque that they gave her, calling her a trailblazer. And so I think that you are a trailblazer in this regard. And so other things in that area that she's been a part of. One is the CABS posters. So she has led us putting these posters on the CABS buses around the campus with regards to how to contact CCS or suicide prevention. And when we put those things up, there's been an increase in calls to the suicide prevention hotline those months that those are there. You know, that's been a charge that she's led. Another charge that she led was there's what we term the 911 folder, which is a document that's made for faculty and staff about what to do when students are in distress, what are the resources, who do you call, how do you manage this, and it's literally a folder, so a faculty member can keep it right on their desk. She was part of the original group that helped put that together. That's something that we're looking at with the new version, printing, I think, 25,000 copies, you know? So this is something that started one place and is blossoming across the institution. Another thing that she's done across her tenure is the board-breaking activity. This has been done with our trainees, our staff. It's been done when we hosted the outreach conference. It's done at the recess event every year. This is something that we've had TV cameras look at. I've watched leadership in undergraduate student government do the board-breaking activity and put that on their Twitter page. But this is something that brings excitement and it helps, and it's something that I think most people don't think of a psychiatrist being out there helping students learn to break a board and break through whatever it is they're struggling with in that way. I mentioned conference presentations. This is an individual who has presented at multiple conferences across her tenure. across the nation in that regard. And this is a way in which you have taken your knowledge, your expertise, and shared that with other places, other people, to then in turn help them provide better treatment and work on their respective campuses or whatever they may be. Another thing that she has led is she's the creative arts person for CCS in terms of creating things that end up in our hallways, end up in our waiting spaces, having a creative arts table for students to draw on. Just today, Denise was adding something to the bulletin board next to the elevator. And 24 hours she's done. I stopped by her, I said, Denise, you don't have to do that today. But I think there was that handout that Harry had put in everybody's box, and she was putting that up so students would be aware of this new workshop. Lorraine had mentioned the nacho days, the tailgates, things that Denise would organize for our department. And these were things that she organized to, I think, really kind of support and promote and help fun, connection, and morale across the entire department. This was something that meant something to her. I think she was always looking at ways to do that. So these are all the things you have done outside of the treatment room, touching thousands and thousands of people in that regard. If we look at the treatment you provided to students across your tenure, again, that would be thousands of students who have benefited from the treatment you have provided. Too many to recount. But here's what I can tell you. Here's what I can share with everyone. Denise has worked with students, gotten them to graduation, students who have then emailed the president of the university and said, without Dr. Deschenes, I would not have made it. And that's really powerful. That's really powerful, right? Our mission, really, at CCS, is to help students get to graduation. You've been doing that for years. You've been doing that for years. And because of you, because of your work, thousands of students have walked across the stage, gotten hooded, gotten a diploma because of the support that you provided them. That's what's happened. That's your legacy. That's phenomenal. Here's the last thing that I'll share with everyone. Denise will commonly take this trip, a family trip or a longer vacation. She'll be gone for a week, maybe a few days longer than a week, and then she'll come back. She'll be energized and all this, and invariably I'll run into her in the break room after she's been gone for a week or so. She'll see me with a big smile, and she'll say two things to me. I'm back. Did you miss me? Always would just make me laugh because I knew it was coming in there every time. Did you miss me? Well, Denise, now you're leaving again. On behalf of myself, everyone at CCS, Student Life, the university, and all the students you've worked with, we will all miss you.